Have you ever looked at a bigger paycheck and still felt that same tight feeling in your chest? You work hard, you earn more, and somehow your money still slips away before the month ends. That doesn't mean you're lazy, bad with money, or behind in life. Most of the time, the problem is much simpler. Your money keeps rising and falling the same way, because each time you earn more, your spending quietly rises with it. I'm going to show you one spending filter, one money split, and one math idea that can change how fast you build wealth. Being rich in real life means more calm, more choices, and less panic when life hits. First, you need to see where the money keeps slipping out. This kind of overspending doesn't come in loud. It slips into your life in ways that look normal, earned, and harmless, which is why so many smart people miss it until their raise is gone and their stress is still there. It can look like a better phone plan because the old one suddenly feels cheap. Then it's more takeout because work ran late again. Faster shipping because waiting feels annoying. 2 new subscriptions because each one looks small, and a car payment that feels fair because you've been pushing hard and want your life to finally look like progress. None of those choices feels huge on its own. And that's why this gets people. You don't wake up and decide to wreck your future. You just keep making small upgrades to smooth out stress, boredom, and fatigue. And a few months later, the extra income is gone before you even notice what happened. This is the split you need to understand. Income is the money that hits your account. Wealth is the money you don't spend. It's the part you keep, build up, and use to make life easier later instead of just making life look nicer right now. And to be fair, this stuff feels good for real reasons. Buying dinner after a long day can feel like relief. Hitting buy now can feel like a reward. Getting better things can feel like proof that your effort means something. That's why this isn't just a money problem. It's an emotional problem too. A lot of people think the fix is more discipline, but that falls apart fast when you're tired, stressed, or trying to get through the week. Good marketing doesn't need to beat you when you're strong. It just waits until your brain is worn out. Then it steps in with one easy tap. So the answer isn't trying to be perfect every night. The answer is building rules that protect your money when your energy is low and your brain just wants relief. You want guardrails, not guilt, because guilt fades fast and systems keep working when life gets messy. Once you see that, money starts to feel less personal and more mechanical. You're not broken. Your setup is. And when you fix the leak, every dollar can finally get a real job instead of quietly disappearing. You need a setup that is easy to run on a normal week, not some money plan that only works when you're calm, rested, and in the mood to stare at numbers on a screen. Most people quit tracking money because the plan asks too much from them. So let's make this simple. Use 3 lanes, 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for building your backup money, growing your money, or paying off debt faster. That's the whole frame. Needs are the bills that keep your life going. Stuff like rent, food, power, gas, insurance, and the bare minimum on debt. Wants are the things that make life more fun or easier, like eating out, trips, clothes, shows, and small treats. The last part, that 20%, is the part that helps you breathe in the future. Don't get stuck trying to force your life into perfect lines on day one. Because if your rent is high right now, or your debt is heavy, your numbers may look rough for a while. And that doesn't mean the system failed. It just means you can finally see the truth, and once you can see it, you can start to fix your day. The part I want you to protect most is that 20%. That money should move first, not later. Not only if there's some left at the end of the month. First. So picture payday. Your check lands, and before your brain starts making little deals with itself, money moves out to your emergency fund, your long-term money, or your debt. Bills already have their lane. Fun money has its lane too, which means when you buy lunch with a friend or grab something small for yourself, you know where it came from. That cuts a lot of stress because clear limits feel better than constant guessing. This works because the system does the hard part early. You don't need to keep making the same choice over and over. One good setup can carry a lot of weak moments, and weak moments are where most money plans fall apart. There's one more tool that helps a lot when a want hits hard. Use the 48-hour rule. When you see something you want that isn't a real need, don't buy it right then. Write it down in your phone with the name, the price, and the date. Then wait 2 full days. That's it. No long speech to yourself. No shame. No fake promise that you'll never spend on fun again. You just slow the moment down. That pause matters more than people think, because a lot of spending is really mood management wearing a price tag. You're not always buying the shoes, the watch, the headphones, or the kitchen thing. A lot of times, you're buying a better feeling for 10 minutes. 2 days give your brain time to calm down so you can tell the difference. Some wants vanish fast. You forget them by the next day, and that tells you what you needed to know. Other wants stick around. They still make sense after the rush is gone, and when that happens, you can buy them without that weird guilt hangover later, as long as the money comes from your wants lane. That's the part people miss. This isn't about turning into a robot who never enjoys money. It's about buying on purpose instead of buying on impulse, because those are not the same thing. One builds a life you actually like. The other keeps you stuck in short bursts of relief. Put these 2 tools together and your money starts acting with more order. The split tells each dollar where it belongs, and the 48-hour rule stops those fast, messy purchases. After that, saving stops feeling random. And once saving stops feeling random, you can finally give your money time to grow. Now comes the quiet part that changes your whole life, and it usually doesn't look cool at all, because wealth tends to grow in plain clothes while everyone else is chasing signs that look rich for a week and then fade. A lot of people think getting rich means one huge break, one giant check, or one perfect stock pick. Most of the time, it's much less dramatic. It's small amounts sent out on time, left alone, and repeated for years, while other people keep stopping and starting. The idea is simple. Your money grows, then the growth joins the pile, and next time you earn on the bigger pile. That's why time matters so much. At first, the change looks tiny, almost boring. And then later, the gap gets wide enough that you can't ignore it. You can use one easy shortcut to see this. Take the number 72 and divide it by the percent your money grows each year. The answer gives you a rough guess for how many years it takes your money to double. So if your money grows by 6% a year, it takes about 12 years. If it grows by 8%, it takes about 9 years. You don't need to love math for this to help you. You just need to respect what time does when money stays in motion. Think about 2 people. One starts early with small amounts, nothing flashy, just steady moves. The other waits, earns more later, and tries to catch up by throwing in bigger amounts. Most people expect the second person to win because bigger numbers look stronger. But the first person often pulls ahead because time did more of the lifting. That part hits hard when you really feel it. Having money set aside isn't only about buying things. It's about lowering the pressure in your life. It's the gap between your car breaking down and your whole week falling apart. It's room to leave a job that drains you, room to handle a rough month, room to think clearly instead of making scared choices. So if you're waiting for the perfect income, the perfect budget, or the perfect month to begin, don't wait. Time doesn't pause while you get ready. It keeps going, and every month you delay gives away ground you could have kept. Being rich usually looks simple, not flashy, because the real win comes from the money you keep month after month, not the money you show off. Set up your 50-30-20 split today. Use the 48-hour rule on your next want.